Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm talking about a new thing that I have bought for this, which is my VFC M249 Para Gas Blowback. I actually haven't really featured this on the channel very much. I've been planning on doing a video for it, and there's so many things that I love about this, and I will do a full overview video, but there's something that I just found on the Evike website and went and bought it from Evike in person that I think could help this thing quite a bit, being just more usable in like a more realistic environment. Now, this thing is actually their Para version, and I've spoken to some people before who are like, how did you get this? Because this is the version where it has the Para stock on it. It has the heat shield cover on this actual M249 Para style. I've actually put a slightly longer flash hider on the end here, but this normally you would have to buy a conversion kit for. Now, I don't know why, but Evike for some reason seem to have had their own version, which isn't the original 249 that VFC created. It's like this Para version, which for some reason you can get from them. So anyway, I bought this. This is about $750 when you buy it from them directly. I think unfortunately, as of making this video, this thing is currently sold out. So you'll have to wait for them to come back in stock, or you can buy the original and then buy the conversion kits to turn it over. But the cool thing about this is it's gas blowback. And so you're getting recoil on this thing. It's an M249, so it's a heavy machine gun, a light machine gun, and it is just super fun. It's just very different. It is very lightweight is one thing I would say, is not in an awful way where you're like, this feels super plastic, but it is very lightweight compared to what the real steel is and what you're kind of expecting when you look at it. I have actually just got this right now on here, which is a Spec Precision ACOG, which I think actually suits this really well. I think it just looks very good, and actually it's a great optic. So shout out to Spec Precision. I'll put a link to this down below as well. So this isn't a real ACOG. I'll put a link to this so you guys can check it out. But they really like this site. It's a really, really good quality one. So yeah, so basically the issues that I've had with this are probably the issues that most people have with gas blowbacks, which is this thing is loaded quite differently. And I don't think it's necessarily a really bad thing, but it's not as if you have a magazine that is a normal magazine and it has BBs and gas in it like it would for a gas blowback. You can see there, it's got a valve top to it, but there are no BBs in here. And so what this is just a gas reservoir. All this has is gas in it. Now, this is what comes with the replica. It looks like your standard AR magazine, a Stanag, and you just input it in here into the side. Oh, that's just vented some gas. You put it into the side, and that is going to give you your gas reservoir system into it. You can push down on this tab, and it will release the magazine. Oh, I can put it in. There we go. That's fine. So that is basically gas. So you can buy quite a few of these. You could just run them on yourself. I think that these magazines are going to fire around. I need to do a test video. I will be doing a test of all of the gas systems here that I'm to be talking about, but I think it's maybe one of these cassettes. Now, these cassettes are what going to have the BBs in there. You basically fill these up with BBs. You open this top cover here, and this thing slides into this position. Other way. Slides into this position. It locks in there. So you've got about 120 rounds, I think. And then this is the feed lips. That's going to go directly in. You're going to lower that in, and that is going to be your feeding of your BBs. So you can carry tons of those if you want to. The problem is you're going to have to carry tons of those, and then you're also going to have to carry, let me remind myself how to open this. You're going to have to carry tons of those, and then you're also going to have to carry quite a few of the gas mags as well. These are kind of your standard gas blowback weight. Now, the alternatives that you've had to this up until now are two. And I've tried both of them, and I think one of them works quite well. The other one I don't. The one thing I don't think works very well is this, which is what they would also sell for around $100 and $120, which is basically a gas reservoir in a box mag. Now, you can see here that's a similar end to what this is. And so you're basically plugging this in. You are sliding this in as a box mag, and you can put these fake rounds that will run over the top. So I'll show you quickly what that's going to look like. It's very awkward just because of the size of the BoxMag. When you move this up, you can then lay these rounds in here and it will give you some vibration. So it will kind of look fairly realistic, and these rounds will basically cover where your gas input is going in. I don't want to put it in now because I don't want to go through the hassle, because it is kind of harder to get in and out. Once you get the knack of it, I think it's fine, but it's just annoying. My issue with this is this BoxMag kind of looks realistic, but it's just very big. Like, it's a very chunky BoxMag, and I don't really like how it looks, or it's kind of wobbly on the bottom. Like, it needs, to be honest, I think actually the mount on here needs tightening, so we'll work on that in a second. But it's just kind of annoying and big, and it doesn't have enough gas capacity in it to make it worthwhile. This thing isn't going to fire off like 2,000 rounds. It's going to do more than this for sure, but I think this did like maybe 200, 300, and then you were done. You get big time cooldown with it, which is annoying. And yeah, it's just not that practical. Obviously, there's no BBs in it. You're still having to carry the cassettes. So that was kind of the annoying thing. Now, what I have actually kind of found as being the best alternative to this is to basically HPA it. Now, it's not hard to HPA, which is cool, because all you need to do is put a different valve in here. And basically you can get these. There are companies like AirTac which will do a conversion. I'll remove this little valve in here, put this in. That allows me to run like a PTFE, like tube straight in. So I can just run it to my my regulator in my, what do you call it? The regulator in my, on my air tank, and then just have my HPA air tank run it. You can then also just do like a feed, which basically will put the BBs into the top here, similar kind of style, where it's almost like a feeding piece that goes there. And then you could run like a regular BoxMag on it, which means you have unlimited air in your backpack, and you have a BoxMag feeding as many BBs as you want. You're not having to change these out and rely on them. Things that aren't as realistic, obviously you're not like changing and doing that, because you're just running an AEG style BoxMag, and it has the shaky sound, and that really annoys me. That was probably the biggest downside for me. Is, well, two downsides. One, you've got an airline, which is the downside for any HPA, and the other downside for me is that you have a shaky BoxMag, which is just annoying. Now, the thing which I have bought today, that was a very, very long way around getting to it, but the thing that I bought today, and that I think is, I haven't tested it, but I think this could be a kind of game changer style thing, is something that I saw pop up on the Evike website, and it is this. And this is a smaller BoxMag. Now, it's more compact. I've literally just opened it now just to kind of have a quick look at it. But it is a BoxMag which is much more respectable size. You can see here the difference. It means that you're going to be able to run it on here, and it's going to be not like as bulky and getting in the way. And it's still going to give you a lot more gas, or this is what I think, because I couldn't find an exact amount of like how much gas is going to be in there. I think it's going to give you a lot more gas than what this is. Than what this is. Here, probably less than this, although what I did want to check actually quickly is just look at the size of the reservoir, because if you look here, there's a massive amount of space in there, and this guy is actually the same size. So I think what they've actually managed to do is take this, which is kind of cool because it's very compact, very lightweight. There's not much kind of messing around. They also give you the fake rounds with this, but they've managed to take this and they've managed to turn it into something a lot smaller. Now, I don't know what the capacity is going to be, and this is going to be a future video, me testing this new one compared to that, and we'll see what it's like. But enough talking about this one, because this isn't what we're talking about. This thing is cool. I mean, it is obviously very small, compact compared to what else is out there. Very similar design where you've got this feeder here. We're going to be able to, I think, just put these fake rounds in the side to cover up this. It's got the same attachment on here. One thing that I don't really like, and I don't know if this is different or this is just Evike, is they only have this like M81 woodland style like sleeve. When I bought it, I was like, okay, well, you know what? It's not a big deal. I'll just take the cover off it. And I've realized that's not actually possible, which is annoying. So I was like, oh, these are probably just pop pieces and you can just pop these off and then like put another cover on top. That's not the case. They've done it in such a way where this is the gas reservoir and this is actually directly in there. So there is no like plastic covering or shell that's over there, which is kind of really annoying because it means that I can't change this out. I was like, oh, if there's another one later, I'll buy it or I'll just run it like a black box mag. I now, because I've bought this, have to run this in this M81 woodland style, which I don't wear any camo that's like this. I mean, I don't think it's bad. It's not like multicam black or something like that, which is a lot more, you know, some people love it, some people hate it. This is generally probably a fairly good thing. It's more of a like LMG, you know, it's not like I want to kind of have all my gear looking like tuned or whatever. This is an LMG. It's not going to be quite the same. You could probably spray this or dye it or do something with it. But that for me was a downside. I'm like, what's the thing? The other thing that could be a downside is the gas capacity. Now, it's obviously a fairly big gas reservoir compared to this. So I don't think it's a big issue. But that is something to bear in mind. One thing I love about this is that even if the gas reservoir isn't the same size as that, carrying 2 or 3 of these is not going to be very difficult. Like it's pretty easy to throw 2 or 3 of these into a backpack and then change them out. Because that was the problem with this, is like when this thing gets too cold, because it's powered by green gas, like it's just the gas capacity, the gas efficiency on it just drops off a cliff. So you're just like, when it's too cold, it's getting colder and colder and colder. This thing, I think, could be a great alternative to that, where I could put 2 or 3 of these in a backpack, like a general purpose machine gun or a light machine gunner in real steel, if you're in that milsim space, would be doing. And therefore you could kind of run it like that. You could also have one of these belts on each one. So I just kind of like a real steel situation. If this thing runs out of gas, I'm changing this out, putting this belt fed thing in, slamming it, throwing the bolt forward, and then I'm good to go again. Obviously, got to change out my my actual cassettes. These are called the BBs. But I do think this could be, and obviously I have to test it, but I thought I'd do the unboxing with you guys, my first impressions. It could be a good thing. The other thing that I think was a downside for this one is there's a lot of space in here, which you could put stuff in there if you wanted to. But I think that actually was counterproductive to keeping this thing warmer. I think that whole air around it just got colder and colder, and this entire container got very cold. Now, this thing is going to be a lot easier to warm up because this is just fabric here. So it's not going to like insulate the cold like as much as it is. And the other thing I thought you could probably do is take something like a hand warmer, like, you know, like you would do like a chemical hand warmer or whatever, snap it, put it inside here. And it's almost like those mag warmers, you know, that you can have, the mag pouches that are like mag warmers that you basically can have if you're running green gas in like a cold environment. And you could do it something like that. And obviously, as I said, you can change them out a lot quicker. So you could just kind of run it like that. If they had this in just like a desert tan or just like Ranger green, I think that would be amazing. And I'll look out for it. Other downside for this is price. Now, this is $180. Like this is $100. It's bigger. It seems like there's more stuff to it. But this is actually a lot less money than this thing is. So $180 for a just green gas reservoir to me seems like a lot. So we'll see what it's promising, even though I haven't really been able to find out how much gas capacity this is in comparison. But I am quite excited just to see what this can do. And what I will be doing on the next video of this is basically just a test where we're just going to burn through rounds. I'm just going to fill this thing up with gas, let it heat up, let it get to a good temperature. Then I'm just going to fill like 10 of these cassettes and just see how many we can get through it. Because with most like gas blowbacks, you know, you've got the issue of cooldown. However, it's going to be a not big issue because you can fire it semi-auto. This thing you're going to be firing full auto, and that's how it fires. So you can do burst fire and not hold the trigger for too long, but it still is something that's supposed to be suppressive fire. So if this thing can't hold itself in terms of getting cold in that situation, I think it's going to be not worth $180. So we're going to work out whether we think this is worth the cost. But the name of this thing that they've got is the M249 GBB Gas Supply Ammo Pouch GR, is what they've got on the box. Let's just see how this thing fits actually as well. I think that's going to be probably quite a big part of this. What I'm going to do first is actually put these fake rounds on here. But if this works well, I could definitely see myself getting like 2 or 3 of these and like getting 2 or 3 of these things and then just trying to run them wrong way. Trying to run my like gas blowback LMG setup in this format as opposed to going to the I need to run HPA on this, because I think that just could be way, way better. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put this guy in here. We'll put this guy in here. So that's clicked in nicely. We're going to put this guy, and this has often been the issue, and this might actually mean that I have to do it the other way around. The issue often has been this. Now, it's kind of cool because they do give you like a directional bullet symbol on there showing you which way it should go in. But actually, if I put that in first and then slide this in, that seems like it's going to work better. However, let me just work this out, because I think this is the same issue that I actually had with it previously with the other one, was that just the angle of this just meant it was really difficult to put this thing in properly. Maybe that there, that's going to be easier. Is that locked in? Yep, that's locked in place. Okay, so that's fine. I think that's going to be okay. We're just needing to make sure that we can get these fake rounds in here. And that, I think, is going to be the, not problem, but it's going to be the, that looks pretty good. Okay, so it's got this little gap like hole here. We can flick this right in there. And that is giving me basically the look of a belt-fed machine gun. I'll put this, even though it's empty, in here. That's going to be in there. And then we can just slam that down. And that is what this thing's going to look like in comparison, which I think some people might be a bit like, okay, well, that's not quite as like true to form. You know, like it should have that big one on it. But in terms of just use on this, it's just so much better having it in like this than it is with that massive box mag on it. And it's not going to have the shake. You can hear here, that's actually not attached, which is why that's shaking around. Let me just pin this in. Okay, there we go. Like that's the noise it's going to be making, which I think is pretty awesome. And now I just have a M249 Para that is compact. That's what it's going to look like there. You can see the airline that is running there, but it's got this black cover to it. It's very, very subtle. When I go to change it, I'm going to have to lift this up. I can also deploy this with it on, whereas the other one, it was just kind of like too big. Now I can deploy the bipod like that. If I want to reload it, I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to unhook this, which is the fake rounds on here. I'm then going to change the cassette. I'm going to pull this out, remove the side piece. If I really want to, I don't have to remove it, and I could just do the, I could just fill the gas, and the fill for the gas is under here. So I just need to put my gas straight in there, and then we'll see how it goes. Anyway, guys, this is just a quick unboxing overview, discussion of the problems with the M249 Para, or the M249 from VFC, and what I think could be quite a good fix. But I think it's all going to depend on cooldown and mag capacity in terms of how much BBs this thing is going to put out on one of these box mags, and they're expensive. So if they are good, it's probably worth buying like 2 more of them, because you can fill it with gas, you can run that one down, you've got another one in your backpack that's heated up, you could take that one, put that one on while the other one heats up. Even if you've just got 2 of them and you're going between the 2, the problem you're gonna have is when it's already cold, then you're filling it with gas and you're not giving it that break. So I don't know. I'm quite excited, guys. Anyway, that has been my little overview. I will put a link to this product down below so you can go and have a look at it. I'll put a link to the Para as well so you can see that. But although I did say I think it might be sold out right now. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this interesting and worthwhile watching and wasting your time on. But I've been Six More Badger. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you very soon on the next video. Goodbye.